No, I can open up. Of course, you're clearly disappointed with the loss. Anytime you lose, it's not a good feeling. Um, you have to look at the positives, and that's what I told my team, is that we played hard. We never gave up. I didn't hear any finger pointing on the sidelines or any negative talk. It was always positive, even until the very end, and that's a good sign. We left a lot of plays on the football field. A lot of areas where we can grow, we're going to grow, and we have to stay committed to that. And I think that's the part that I'm excited about, is that, you look at these losses as learning experiences, and we're going to learn. We don't lose, we learn. Now we have to really take that to heart and grow. This is an awesome opportunity for us to grow and get better and look at our mistakes. And we'll look at a couple plays here or there, and it's a different ball game. We never felt like the game was out of hand or could have gotten out of hand. And I was curious to see how we were going to respond to adversity. And it showed a lot of things. I felt like Drew played well enough for us to win. Our defense gave up some big plays and on things that we can correct. And given this unit is relatively young on the back end, that's a learning experience against a really good football team on the road. And now we have to learn and we have to grow from it. So without having looked at the tape, those are my initial feelings about it. But my hat really goes off to Cincinnati and their head coach. His team played Nebraska tough last week. 7 straight losses coming into the year, so you knew they were going to come out and play with an edge, and we had to match that. So that energy, and our guys never blinked in the eye of the storm. So that's the one part that I'm really proud of. But we have to get better. We have to commit to getting better this week, and that's it. So I'll open it for questions.
All right. When you ask questions, I got a mic here. Please introduce yourself and give them your media outlet.
Hey, Coach Michael Burwell, it's Toledo Blade. Obviously, your Pine passing attack was really well, but what were they doing in their passing game that made things difficult? Obviously, a lot of big plays and everything.
Yeah, well, communication breakdowns. There were some guys running free. I saw a lot of hesitation in our back end. Some communication. Quarterback did a great job. Last week he threw for 68 yards, and he looked like he struggled quite a bit on tape, even going back to last season with passing the ball. But he felt confident in there, and we weren't going to help our corners out because we were predicated on stopping the run. And he said, hey, if he can beat us throwing the football, God bless him. And guess what? He did this, that. And so that's what the issue was. I think we missed a couple of tackles here or there, but when you have guys that are wide open, the 50-50 balls, the receiver Caldwell made an outstanding catch. We're very familiar with that young man with the Lindenwood. Last year we played against him at Tennessee State, so we're very familiar with his playmaking ability, and you got to live with that. I mean, we got to learn how to defend those balls, and we got to get better on the outside, and we have to, again, understand what we're doing and why it's so important to communicate and be on top of it in real time. It's one thing to do it in practice and in training camp, but when the lights are on and the pressure's on, can you execute at a high level without panicking? And, I have to go back and have to look at exactly what happened and get the great details, but these are the things that we have to learn and grow from.
Media Sports Network. Offense clearly found rhythm in the second half. Just what did you see from their performance?
Just that, Drew really came on in the second half. I think he threw for almost 200 yards in the second half. We were able to get a turnover. We were able to get in situations where we were able to score but didn't on four drives. But we always felt like, again, we ran the ball really well against them. I think we had almost 100 yards during the course of the game rushing the ball. We just had to get on point on the same page with our passing attack. And you kind of could see it come together, but the good thing is that Drew really stayed patient in it. He the game slowed down for him, and that's encouraging. So see our offense able to move the ball against a defense that pretty much held Nebraska in check for the most part, was really encouraging. Now we have to finish our drives, not just with field goals, but with touchdowns, and that's just the next step for our offense. You have to remember, Drew didn't have a spring with us. Everything he's done came from the summer on until now. So there is still a chemistry, a learning curve that he's going to go through over the next 4 to 5 weeks that he's adjusting. But the encouraging part is from last week to this week was a huge jump. The scoreboard, the result, it is what it is. But I'm seeing wins within that. So we have to take that strength and build on that and continue to build on and harp on it infinitum. And the results will begin to take care of itself on the scoreboard. I firmly believe that.
Coach Michael with the Blade. Second quarter there, you guys had 4th and 3 from the Cincinnati 41. Called a timeout and then decided to punt. I guess, was there thought about going for it there, down 14-0, or did you feel pretty confident in punting there?
Well, I wanted to talk about it. Again, I'm looking at the flow of the game, how things were going. We down 14-0. I didn't want to give them a short field. Again, I wanted to, just be conservative until I get a good feel for my offense and where we're going in those situations. I don't want to just throw it at the wind and hope. I want to know for sure we got something dialed up. We are in rhythm. We got these guys in their heels. I just didn't feel it at that point in time. So I wanted to give myself a little time to breathe. I had 3 to burn, and I can't carry them home with me. So I wanted to give myself a little time to think it through, be smart about it, and put our defense in a good situations. I could see that they were on their heels a bit with the passing game, with their passing game against our defensive backs.
And Nicole Weaving with BCSN. I know that you kind of mentioned the idea of not finishing drives, and you haven't seen the film yet, obviously. But what did you notice in the first half? Do you feel was really killing drives, especially unable to pick up third down?
Self-inflicted wounds. I mean, you'll look at a missed block here. Everybody took a turn, whether it was a receiver that missed a block or an offensive lineman missed a certain play or a certain player, and that's what it was. It was everybody was taking turns, making a mistake, or else it was out the gate. And you can look at it on the iPads, wow, we're one play away, one block here, one trip of the foot here, or less it's out the gate, and we could see it coming. I mean, Petaway had 6 yards per carry in the first half. Kadarius had some good runs. Our run game was there. We just have to convert on the 4th and 1s much better. I felt like we did a good job of goal line against their defense. So, again, there are the lessons that we have to learn. And, again, when I look at the tape, I'll be able to give you a much better detailed explanation of why we didn't execute the way that we did. We didn't.
Awesome, that's Bearcat Journal. Cincinnati had over 200 yards rushing last week. You held to just over 100 this week. What went into stopping their run game?
Well, we knew everything started with the run for them, and especially their outside zone game. I mean, they got good offensive linemen. Their backs really hit it hard based off of what we saw. And one thing that we're built on and what we believe in here at Bowling Green is that we're going to run the ball and stop the run. That's number one. We want to control the A gaps. That's what we aim to do, and we felt like, hey, we're going to commit to that. We're going to try to make them earn every yard in terms of running the ball, and that's our mentality. So I was pleased to see that, and they were able to execute on the perimeter, and that's where we lost. And tip of the hat again to Cincinnati for doing it. So I think now we can grow and learn from those situations. But I'm proud of the way our guys played. We were able to hold a team of that caliber to that many yards in terms of running the football against us. Because if they got their running game on the rails, it could have been a long day. So we understood, what was at stake for us with that.
Kevin Peel, Falcon Sports Radio Network. Coach, one thing I wanted to check with you on, the depth, offensive line, defensive line. You've had a nice mixture and been able to get that rotation going. What battles did you see you were winning kind of in between? Were you getting a sense of what rotation you want to implement going forward as well?
Well, I'll say this. Our Greg Nosal, our offensive line coach, has autonomy over that mix. He has a good feel for that unit. That unit's been playing together, has been established before I got here. It's one of our strong points. So I'll leave that up to him to figure out those guys. But I think you're going to see a little bit more because we want to try to rotate, 6 to 7 guys up front that we feel like can play. They're 1As, and he's done a phenomenal job of getting those guys prepared each and every week. So again, I was pleased from last week to this week how we were able to get some holes for our running backs and establish a line of scrimmage and not get overwhelmed with it. And I believe that if we stay committed to the process of us running the football, it's going to pay dividends later on in the year. And again, we just have to marry that with a steady passing attack, become more efficient, and get it on the same page, and let the chips fall where they may. So we'll see.
I got a question here, and one last question in the back after that.
I'm Gary Schatz from the Associated Press. How encouraging is it in 2 games that you haven't turned the ball over?
Well, why would you say that? Now, why?
Huh?
Why would you even mention that to me? Well, now you know what's going to happen, right?
Well, you mean I'm a jinx?
Duh. No, that's exciting. I look at our turnovers. We're not turning the ball over +1. We're not creating turnovers, and that's the problem. We have to learn how to create turnovers, and I talk about, our defense being surgical in terms of getting the ball out. And I think it's a situation where kids are still thinking about the calls, and we're not playing fast right now because we're still learning the defense, the nomenclature, the calls in real time. So it's tough for us to create those turnovers. But we work on every day. We're on the practice field is our turnover circuit and our ball security. I harp on that till no end. And I got a couple receivers and backs I'm going to get on for having the ball in the inside arm because it's only a matter of time before that happens. Kadarius actually did fumble the ball, and he recovered it on his own. But it's going to be emphasized daily as a part of our ethos is that we don't turn the ball over, and we're going to continue to work on those things.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Last question right here.
Kevin Hutchinson, Falcon Media Sports Network. So, Coach George, we possessed the ball for 37 minutes. The Bearcats possessed it for only 23. Still didn't come away with the win. So, in future games, especially against MAC opponents, what's the plan when it comes to capitalizing on each offensive possession and really getting the most out of that time of possession?
It's to score. It's to finish. And typically, this time of year, when you don't have an offense that's been together, like an experienced offense, you're going to have that in the beginning where they are still learning how to finish together. Typically, when you have a team that's been together for 1 or 2 years, some parts, the quarterback, running backs, and they kind of know that you'll see more of that. So it's going to come. The fact that we're able to find it and get the play calls and be in position to do it is encouraging. Now we emphasize to finish with 7 points, not be satisfied with 3. So that's what we're going to continue to do, is to put our guys in the best position to succeed, to score, and just harp on we have to score touchdowns as we continue to move forward in our schedule.
Jeremy, Michael Burrow with the Toledo Blade. Obviously tough to come up short, but how encouraging was just the passing game for you guys today? Close to 300 yards and a lot of great plays in that area. Just how kind of encouraging was that area for you guys?
We commit to getting better every single day, every week, every opportunity we get, we commit to getting better. So from last week, we didn't really call a lot of our plays last week just to, I wouldn't say save it because we didn't really need to, but this week we had a lot of opportunities. When we watched film this week, we seen that we had a lot of opportunities. They had a lot of holes in their defense, and we took advantage of it. So it's good to get the ball in the air.
First touchdown for you here at Bowling Green. What was that moment like there in the third quarter when you scored?
It was very exciting. It's my first touchdown in 2 years, so it's very exciting to finally get back in the end zone.
The first half, you guys were really able to move the ball well. Got into Cincinnati's territory a lot, but to only come away with 3 points, kind of how tough was that? Where you guys were obviously being productive, but just couldn't find the end zone and get in position.
It's very tough not being able to finish the drive, getting down to the red zone a couple of times, a lot of times actually, and not being able to finish the drive. It was very bad. I wouldn't say bad, but it was very tough. But we kept our heads up, and at least we came away with points, and we just continued to try to find different ways to get better. And it was just little things to why we couldn't finish the drive. It was very small things that are very correctable, and we'll get them corrected for next week.
Nicole, leaving BCSN, what is it about your chemistry so far with Drew that you feel like is like clicking so well that allowed you to have like so many receptions today?
We both have veteran experience. So Drew has been playing for a while. I've been playing for a while. So we see things the same, and that's a good thing. He's always lifting me up, and I'm always lifting him up. If he makes a bad play or something, I'm lifting him up next play. I live by next play mentality. So don't let one play define the rest of the game, because if you let one play define the rest of the game, then you're not going to have a good game for the rest of the game. So I feel like it's good that we have great chemistry. Excuse me.
Any more questions? All right, thank you, Jaron.
Thank you.
Oh, you got one in the back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not too late.
Oh, no, not at all. Sorry, I didn't see your hand.
Yeah. I don't know if I need to.
It's for us.
Oh, it's for you. Okay. All right. Obviously, Jaron, you know you have 34 career games at Texas Southern. This is your season here at Bowling Green. Just what are your goals personally in terms of your development this season, and just where you hope to bring this team by the time December comes around?
My personal goals, obviously, I want to beat Toledo, because I played Toledo maybe 2 years ago, and they beat us 71-3 when I was at Texas Southern. But we're not talking about that. But to win the MAC, obviously, and just bring the younger guys along. Not to leave anybody behind. Everybody is valuable. Whether like all week in practice, we preach that the scout team is important. We're not going to be able to have a good game if the scout team doesn't give us great looks. So just encouraging everybody, being a light to the younger guys and anybody who may need help or anything with my veteran experience that I bring, just to be there for them and whatever anybody may need.
Obviously, their passing game was really efficient. You know, they're able to get a lot of big plays. Like,
Mm-hmm.
what was it just collectively as a team? Like, how tough was it just trying to slow down their passing attack?
I mean, I think something that we take pride in is stopping the run. We give an emphasis on that every day in camp, ever since Coach George got here and, establishing the A-gap. So I think we did that really well. Everything else, I think, self-inflicted wounds, which, it's week 2, we're going to get that stuff corrected. And like I was telling the guys, like, this doesn't stop the train, man. Like, train's going to keep going, and this is not going to stop us from trying to go win that MAC this year.
Third quarter, they're obviously a huge play defensively. I think Dorian with the force of fumble when you recovered it, and it leads to a quick touchdown.
Yeah.
Like, just how big was that play? How exciting was that play for you, considering a little bit of momentum?
That was a big play, honestly, especially for like Dorian and I. I mean, since Coach Bowden got here and then I got put in the inside backer room, me and Dorian became really close. So that was a special moment. He punched out the ball, I got it. We're celebrating on the sideline, and the fact that we went to go score right after. That changed the momentum of the game, and that we're still in this in a dogfight.
Dorian, just a sophomore, and
Mm-hmm.
he 10 tackles today. He had 9 last week. I think 10 last week. Like, how special can he be?
That dude's special. I'm not gonna lie. He's a cat. You don't see a lot of young guys come into a college program like that and have the production and the leadership that he does. And just in the couple months that I've gone closer with Dorian, I've seen him grow a lot as just a young man and a really good friend of mine. So I'm really, really happy for him.
2 weeks in, what's I guess tough to come up with a loss today, but like, what's just the general feeling right now with a couple games now under your belt?
Yeah, like I said, the train doesn't stop, man. We're gonna go win this MAC. Like I said, like there's some stuff that I think we did really well. If you put on the tape, there's a lot of stuff that we did so good. But on the other hand, we did take a loss. There's some stuff we got to work on, and you got to take some self-accountability for that. Go in the film room and say, you know what, I messed up, but hey, let's run it back and let's get back at it.
Kevin Hutchinson, Falcon Media Sports Network. So obviously you guys have 2 more non-conference games,
Mm-hmm.
one against Liberty and one against Louisville before entering MAC play. Just as a defense, what are you guys looking to build, work on in terms of chemistry, in terms of playmaking
Yeah.
before entering the MAC portion of the schedule?
I think chemistry, honestly, that's like our strong suit. Over camp, you're around these guys 24/7, and this is probably the most special. I've been at another institution before, and this is the most special locker room I've ever been a part of. The chemistry is there. I mean, like I said earlier, we're gonna stop the run. That's our identity as a football team, and it's something when you turn on the tape that you're gonna know that we're gonna stop that run and hold down the A gaps.
Thank you.
Yep.
Any more questions? All right. Thanks, Justin.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yep.
We got one. We got-
Oh.
Yep.
Bruce Mark with Falcon News Sports News. Justin, a lot of new faces in the defensive side
Mhm.
of the ball. You're also able to returns from last year. How has your role as a leader kind of grown from spring, from summer, into heading to this season?
I think talking individual role, I mean, it's something I've kind of had to figure out, honestly, which is it's been weird in a way, but it's also this team and this culture that we've established has helped me grow so much as a person. My life on the field, my life outside the field, like I have grown into a young man. I just turned 21 the other day, and it's crazy. But as a leader, man, just my biggest thing is just always trying to keep everything positive, man. Positive talk. I do a lot of like self visualization. Trying to get the guys to get into do stuff like that. Just keep everything positive and uplift everyone.